listening to The Mark Cox Show. Follow the show on Facebook, facebook.com/The Mark Cox Show.
Chris Arps, substituting for Mark Cox. Hey, Liz, what happened to the rap today? No hip-hop.
Do you see a Jason Church
I thought
in the
maybe
studio?
you had it in there.
No.
I thought maybe you two collaborated and got everything.
No, that is Jason Church's job.
Okay, got it.
He is everything music, and so when it comes to that, he picks all that out.
Okay. Well, we'll cut it. I'll cut you some slack this time.
I appreciate it.
Okay, we've got another guest on tap for you. His name is Ben Evans, and Ben is a good friend. He's the Central Regional Coordinator for Heritage Action for America, is the political arm for the Heritage Foundation. Hey, Ben has been working with grassroots conservatives since he graduated from law school in 2009. The vibrant Tea Party community in St. Louis provided many opportunities to become active in the political arena. Ben started with promoting the Missouri Healthcare Freedom Act through new media and then managed the St. Louis Tea Party's coalition election headquarters in 2010. He continued serving on the executive board of the St. Louis Tea Party Coalition while actively promoting conservative ideals to the Missouri legislature in 2011. Sean Hannity says this about Heritage Action. Heritage Action is the political muscle that turns conservative policy ideas into conservative realities on Capitol Hill. How are you, Mr. Evans?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm sorry we missed you in the first hour.
Oh, that's all right.
You made me have to wing it for 10 minutes, and Liz...
I'm sure you did great.
You would have seen a African-American man turn pale during that 10 minutes. Hey, things we want to talk about. I know that when I talked to you earlier, and one of the main prerogatives for Heritage for America is going to be the repeal of Obamacare. And I actually have something that I printed out that said that you guys came out December 5th, says how to repeal all of Obamacare by inauguration. It's a little ambitious, isn't it?
I mean, it shouldn't be ambitious when you consider that you have a Republican Congress right now, and then on inauguration, we can start moving forward. And there's a two-part process to that, and the first part was getting a line in the budget that simply said, basically, repeal Obamacare, and that puts it into the reconciliation process, and that would have gotten the ball rolling.
Oh, okay. Hey, what do you say to the critics who say that if you repeal Obamacare, what are you going to replace it with? You got these people that have health insurance now that are going to be without it. The cold, hard-hearted conservatives. What's your response to that?
So first off, when you repeal, you still have in place certain things from Obamacare that take a little while to roll back. So it wouldn't be an immediate elimination of everything the second that something's signed. I mean, you got to go through the process of rolling back the bureaucracy and everything else. But to those that think that there's going to be a gap between when we repeal it and when we don't, Heritage and many other Republicans have had plans in place for years to put and to make sure that people don't fall through the gaps when you get rid of Obamacare and put in a conservative, free market-minded healthcare plan.
What do you tell people? Because I know you get this all the time when people say that Heritage Foundation was the one that came up originally with Obamacare. This was a Republican plan. Why are you trying to kill your own plan?
So what they're doing is they're sort of willfully ignoring facts. And what happened was at the time it was Hillary Clinton pushing Hillary Care, and there was a state-based plan. And so the mandate that was put forward as simply an option that could be put out there was supposed to be put forth by the states. But since that time, we never really pushed that plan. That was just sort of an idea out there to get away from Hillary Care.
Right.
We've come to the conclusion that a mandate by no means is a way to solve the rising healthcare costs, and we've never pushed for that at a federal level.
Tell me this, your repeal of Obamacare, Heritage Action, the action that they're taking, is this a grassroots advocacy thing? Are you guys working with certain congressmen, senators to get this repealed, or is this a total grassroots thing?
Sure, there's sort of a mix there. We've got what we call the inside-outside game,
okay,
and it's pretty unique among organizations in D.C. Lots of organizations work with members of Congress, but there's no groundswell. So what we tried to do at Heritage Action from our inception, which was based on repealing Obamacare back in 2012, was to have both a team in D.C. that is working with members of Congress and a team out in the field like me that are working with grassroots activists.
Right.
And we sort of combine those efforts and supplement the efforts on both sides to get movement in D.C.
Interesting. Tell me this. I am totally confused about the Obamacare enrollment numbers. When they were first touting this, they were telling us that there were 40 million that were uninsured. Now they're telling us that there are 20 million that are insured under Obamacare, but close to 13 million of those are, through Medicaid expansion and young adults staying on their parents' plan. I mean, do you know how many people are actually on Obamacare?
I honestly don't know those numbers, and I don't know that we'll ever actually know what those numbers are until the new administration comes in and starts picking through the numbers at HHS. I think we've seen throughout this presidency, not only from the president, but from the bureaucracy, that they're just not completely truthful on how things work and what they're putting forward. And, of course, one of the consequences of that was that healthcare prices have skyrocketed since we put Obamacare in place, and they weren't supposed to do that under the plan.
Yeah, exactly. And let me see. I was reading about this Medicaid expansion. Yeah, most of it's just young adults and older people that have stayed on the plan. And one thing that I look at, because half of the enrollees seem to be Medicaid and that type of stuff, it seemed like it would have been just easier to just block grant money to states and let them expand Medicaid. Is that part of a plan that Heritage Action has, to expand Medicaid or block grant the money?
So block grants aren't exactly what we would look toward as far as implementing plans. The biggest thing that we're looking at is energizing the free market, allowing plans to be sold across state lines, and that sort of thing, to actually get competition in the healthcare market, to get the prices to go down. And certainly just expanding Medicaid is not going to do that. And we've fought that for Missouri in years, adding people to the plans. I had to deal with it down in Arkansas with the folks that I work with down there. Ends up just creating costs in the system. So I think one of the things that you can look at out there is the speaker's put out his plan. So the Republicans have a plan in place out there. Mm-hmm. And you can also go to heritage.org and look at all the work that our great policy analysts have done on what would go in place. And just to reassure everybody that's listening, there are plans to be put in place. It's just a matter of which one Congress selects.
And we are looking at that. This could be repealed in a year, and no people wouldn't lose their coverage.
What we pushed for was a two-part plan. So this past year, and I think everybody knows this, we never get budgets passed under the Obama administration. Right. So we had an opportunity through the budget to do what's called reconciliation. And that's any sort of budgetary issue only requires 50+1 votes in the Senate, so you don't have to deal with a filibuster. Well, we had that. They didn't pass the budget last year, so we were able to get two sort of swipes at this. One was in a budget bill this year, and that's what we're really pushing for before the break, and looking for before the inauguration, is to get a bill that simply says repeal Obamacare through the reconciliation process. And then the second part of that, with the budget starting next year, is that we will actually have the plan in place to replace Obamacare.
Excellent. And tell us, if people want to get more information, I know you gave the email out or the web address out, but people want to get more information, want to get involved with this, because, I think Obamacare was a big part of why Hillary and the Democrats lost. I think people were ticked off about that. They were getting premium increase hikes, back in September and October, and I think that was part of the reasons that Hillary and the Democrats were pummeled the way that they were. So if folks want to get more information and jump on the bandwagon and help you guys out, how can they do that?
So they can go to heritageaction.com. That's our website. You'll see material on there on different issues that we're working on, and we're a full-spectrum conservative organization. So that's heritageaction.com. And if folks want to get in touch with me directly, they can email me at ben.evans@heritageaction.com. And I cover the entire state of Missouri, Arkansas, and southern Illinois.
Excellent. Ben, I appreciate you being on with us, sir, and talking about Obamacare and how we can get this monstrosity off of the necks of the people and off the economy. I've always said it's just any type of program that has a built-in incentive in it to have people working less than 40 hours, should have to go right there.
Absolutely. We don't want to incentivize people not to work.
No, exactly. Well, Ben, thank you again. Happy New Year, and hope to have you on again whenever Liz lets me host again. Enjoyed your time, sir.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ben.